Thank you to our generous hosts, the State Library of New South Wales and the great staff here. Thank you also to our principal sponsors, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia and PricewaterhouseCoopers. And thank you also to Doug and Greta Moran, my parents, who had the foresight, the vision and especially the courage back in 1988 to commence the prizes. I was reading The Economist on the weekend, and it was alleged that Henry Kissinger quipped that politics in academia are so vicious because the stakes are so small. Well, we all know that, generally speaking, the stakes in the art world are even smaller still. So I like to think that after a quarter of a century of prizes, the awards that the Moran Prizes has pushed through the many art cliques, has pushed past the disgruntled gallery director, and has blissfully ignored the supercilious art critic. And when you look at this year's prizes, the obvious aside, the $300,000 prize money, and you look at the 150 children's workshops that we've run around the country in rural and remote areas of Australia, and the fact that 5,000 children have participated with digital cameras, an international photographer giving them tuition, and then being left to their own imaginations and their environments, it's little wonder that we're receiving over 1 million hits per month on the prizes website. We do live in interesting times where technology is daily reshaping the way we interact with art, culture and our identity. So I'm pleased to announce tonight that it's our commitment to continue to evolve the prizes, to continue to engage with the technology available to us, but importantly to continue to nurture the imaginations of not only our artists but also our children.
The first instance, I think, on behalf of all the people who are here and thousands who would like to be here but can't be here, to Doug and Greta Moran for standing behind young artists and being unapologetic in your commitment to them. It is your generosity that has provided inspiration to them and opportunity to them, and for those successful and unsuccessful tonight, it has furnished further their ambition. And it's a very, very important thing to do in an environment where I think people and their great artistic worth is not always readily appreciated. To the artists themselves, this is a most moving and an inspirational night. I don't pretend to have any expertise in this area at all. And Alan, I'm glad that you made the point right at the end that in the judging of the winners, you didn't have access, and this was true also of the photography section, to any of the annotations which appear. But it's quite clear that not only are these artists wonderful in their own field, pictorial field, but also are marvellous composers as well. Some of the annotations are most moving and most descriptive, and to think that people almost open their hearts on paper to give, I suppose, people with a rather pedestrian view of things like me and like others, a better understanding of what has motivated them to do what they've done. And I guess the prizes in many ways are extrinsic to the art. It's quite clear when you read the annotated piece that people are doing these things out of a wonderful sense of passion and love. It's just that the foundation and the prizes have given them an opportunity to have a go at being exhibited. And that's what the finalists have been able to do. Congratulations too to all of those wonderful young people in the photography section. It's quite extraordinary. And the one thing that is clear is the level of patience that is required to just wait to get the circumstance that you seek. And sometimes you're lucky that you've got the camera with you, and I notice in some of the annotated pieces that's the case. When people say, I was just walking through the gardens, I was walking down the beach and I saw this and I couldn't believe it, and I didn't ever imagine this person would stand still for that long, and I had plenty of time to do it, and here it is here. To those who have entered in the portraiture section, this is just a wonderful extension of what has been going on in this country for a long, long time. But I think the nature of the money, and money, you know, it tends to be a little bit vulgar, but it's important. I mean, people need that, and it does keep many wolves from many doors. So I'm delighted to have been asked to open this. All the business end has been done, of course, but I also hope that you will encourage others to visit. Richard, thank you for giving the artists this opportunity. It is, of course, whether you're a believer or not a believer, it's part of the Christian ethic, isn't it, which says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good work. And basically that's what everyone who's got ability seeks to do. And they hope that at the end of the day there's an appreciation of what they've done, and that appreciation comes by enabling people to visit and stroll through the galleries here and be able to see the work of some brilliant young Australian people. I would just say to you, even if you haven't won tonight, don't be deterred by any of that. Alan and the team would be the first to concede all of this is very subjective. I know it's a cliche to say that everyone is winner. You are winners. The very fact that you've had this inspiration and something going on in your head and you've translated that to a canvas or to the lens of the camera and brought it all for us to share is something pretty special. We are in your debt, and I'm speaking on behalf of those who are going to enjoy the work that you've done. One final small point I would say to a 24-year-old young artist, Alessandra Lubicic, whom I sought to persuade quite vehemently, actually, to sort of leave me alone and go and paint somebody else. But most people won't understand this, but I surrendered and did as I was told. So if you read the annotation there, it apparently was a result of some perception of me being this kind of all-powerful person whom people can't access. And I said, Alessandra, if that's what you want, away you go. So that's a classic case of a young, he was 23 then, he's 24 now. The youth of these people is unbelievable, and the inspiration that they have and the capacity that they have to translate these thoughts and these images onto a canvas or onto a piece of paper is just quite special and quite remarkable. So on behalf of all of you, I'm delighted to be able to declare the exhibition open, and in so doing thank the Moran family for your continuing support of these young people in this special field of endeavour. And as they say, I suppose, in those songs, we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but it's open, and please enjoy.